Arcade Heroes.
Hey, it's Adam from ArcadeHeroes.com with another look, our second look, at Centipede Chaos by Play Mechanix, Raw Thrills, and Ice. Now, the relationship between Play Mechanix and Ice has been a long-standing one. They have worked together to produce popular games like Deal or No Deal, Kung Fu Panda Dojo Mojo, Ice Age, and a few others. So this is the latest collaboration, although it hasn't been often where Raw Thrills has also had their logo on these collaborative games. So I'm not 100% sure what the entire relationship is there. Of course, Play Mechanix is owned by Raw Thrills, but they allowed Play Mechanix to do these different projects like this. But anyways, Centipede, yeah, everybody knows what Centipede is. It was released by Atari back in 1981 and was one of Atari's most beloved classics, one of their best-selling games. And I think it was their second best-selling game right after Asteroids. And so it's been a while since we've had anything Centipede-related in arcades. The last time would have been, I believe, the sequel, Millipede. And so we have this. And this is a longer look at it than the previous video that I posted, so you can see waves 1 through 11. And it seems every 3 waves is when you get into one of those boss battles. But I wasn't really sure what to think about this beforehand. Of course, I hadn't seen it in action, just heard it described. I kind of figured it would not be an exact HD replica of the original, but I did find it to be fun, to be enjoyable. And of course it is set to tickets, to hand out tickets as you see there, but you still have a score. Now you can, as an operator, if you buy one of these machines, you can set this to amusement only mode, where it'll just worry about score, won't mention anything about tickets, but the waves, as far as I'm aware, play out the same. And that is one of the interesting things about it, is that each wave has been designed to present something from the Centipede universe, and maybe add in a few extra, a few new things, as you can see with the different bugs there. Yeah, it has enemies from Centipede, it has enemies from Millipede, and of course with the bosses it has some new ones, and I think there might be a new enemy or two that they created just for this game. So here's another boss battle. So the boss battles that I played through were not anything too intense. You could learn their patterns pretty quickly and then take them out without too much trouble, but oh yeah, that is another thing that makes this different from the originals. Is in the originals you had a very specific place, I think about a fourth, maybe a third of the screen at the bottom that you could go up or down in. On this one you could go all the way to the top of the screen and collect power-ups and things of that nature, and that of course is another thing that's different, is this has power-ups, which I also found a nice touch. I'm sure there are other versions of Centipede that have been released to consoles, as I know. I think the PlayStation had one years ago, the first PlayStation. I believe PCs also had a version of Centipede in the early 2000s, and there was one on the Nintendo DS, and I've admittedly never played those, so I don't know what, if any of those features that were introduced in those games are in this one. But one thing that is also interesting about this is that it allows for 3-player simultaneous co-op, which is similar to the port that Atari made for Centipede back in 1984 for, it's called Centipede for the Atari 7800, and that had a co-op mode as well as a team mode. But one thing about this that does take a little bit of getting used to is it does not use a trackball. It uses a joystick with an oversized ball top, trying to make it look like a mushroom. But I noticed that the joystick is a bit loose. It's not as stiff as most joysticks you'll come across, and I think they did that intentionally to try and find a balance between, say, a joystick and a trackball. But after I got used to it, I didn't find any trouble in controlling my character, although to be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing a version with a trackball. I also wouldn't mind seeing a slightly smaller version, because this is a 75-inch screen. The control panel is quite large, and it also has the seats. The seats are pretty cool. They do have a rumble effect, force feedback, which is a nice little touch, but if they were to produce this in something like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Slither IO cabinets for smaller locations like what I have in Utah, then I wouldn't be against that. I'd just set it to amusement mode, and I think it would probably do pretty well. I have a Galaga Assault, which was done by Rothrills and Bandai Namco, and that's done fine for what it is, but I think this would probably do a little better because it has the multiplayer, and who knows how the Centipede name would go in that regard. But graphics also look great. They're kind of inspired from the movie Pixels, which I know not everybody liked, but the look works out just fine for this. This one's coming out in summer 2019, so thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video.